What's up, boys? It's Feeds back again with another build video. This time we're going to be talking about Valkyrie. I don't know why I struggle with that. Valkyrie. And she's got a little bit of a unique setup and toolkit, and she works in a lot of different areas. You can effectively use her in arenas with no issue, clan boss no problem. You can do all the new 20 dungeons with her. And she fits the mold for a lot of different things that can and can't be done. She's a defense hero. Her A1 ability is attacks one enemy 2 times, decreases turn meter by 10% on each hit if the target has any buffs. Stand firm, attacks all enemies, places a shield buff on all allies for 3 turns, and a counterattack buff on all allies for 2 turns. The value of the shield and the damage inflicted are proportional to the champion's defense. Damage is based on defense. It's 5 turns. And then, of course, her passive, Jealousy. This champion's turn meter will be increased by 10% each time a champion places a buff. Enemy champions will have their turn meters decreased by 10% for each buff that they receive. So the reason why this is so good in Arena is for obvious reasons, because especially on teams that run counterattack, shields, etc., what this allows you to do is effectively put yourself in a spot where you can minimize their turn time by doing it, and because it's passive, it happens every time that it happens. So really strong. And then, of course, her A1, attack and defense. I really like the, I don't know for sure what the percentages are, but I really enjoy when heroes have 2 different ways of boosting their damage. Especially with a lot of the new 6-star items that have come out. It gives you kind of a new perspective, a new way to kind of build around it, so you can do it. And then, of course, her Stand Firm, which is based solely on defense. This is amazing because of the counterattack, the shield that happens to it. If you run with like a Prince Kaimar, or if you run with a Apothecary or something that can kind of boost your turn time, even Painkeeper after the nerf, it's still kind of a good way to kind of to take a really good advantage of her abilities and her toolkit when it comes to it. How I've kind of built her is a little bit different, and I kind of got lucky today. I was able to actually get a 6-star speed glove that had a decent amount of stats to it. And as you can see with 6 stars, she gets 60% HP, so was able to build her stats up pretty well to it. Crit rate, crit damage, speed, and attack percent. Obviously, this is really awesome gloves. I know people say that they want crit rate to it, but as you get other 6-star items, honestly, your crit rates are going to be a lot easier to manage when it comes to things like that. So kind of what you want to build Valkyrie to be is a little tankier, but you still want her to do damage. Ultimately, my mastery is going to be attack and support for the turn meter and turn meter boost, with, of course, War Master on there since she's a 2-attack hero. And then, of course, as you get into Arena, you're going to want a little bit more speed and more HP that goes into it. But as you can see, my defense pretty tanky right there. That goes to it. Now you can do the alternative as well. What I've also looked at doing as well as making her attack or offense defense, and then just stacking up some of her defense that makes her a little bit more manageable for it. You could also do Unshakable if you wanted to go against like magic teams and whatnot that goes to it. But ultimately, the way I kind of valued it was either I could do Iron Skin to go for the extra defense if I want to make her super tank, or go for the War Master that kind of goes into it. So those will be the 2 tier 6 abilities that I looked at. Obviously, I'm going for offense right now, so War Master will be my kind of preferred way to go. And that's just simply because, especially on these level 20 dungeons, because of the amount of HP that they have and chunk that they want, you want to be able to do some functionality that goes into it as well with her ability set. So I won't take her to any of the fights. I will just do a quick fight to show and demonstrate some of her stuff in Arena. But just to give you kind of an idea, you don't need a whole lot with her either to do it. It's more important that you get her to her 6th Ascension, just simply because of the traits that she gets. Her speed's 104 baseline, which makes her one of the fastest baseline heroes with 6th Ascension. And then, of course, you want to be able to capitalize on her maximum defense. The one thing she's kind of lacking in a little bit is the HP for her type of defense hero, but ultimately she makes up with it in the speed, and of course with her defense base that goes there to it. So I would say this hero is relatively low maintenance too when it comes to it, because you're not obligated to do a lot of the things you would normally be obligated to do when it comes to playing a hero, simply because you don't need accuracy requirement for it, since all of her stuff is reflective of buffs. Even when you do her A2, it's still going to be reflective of the buff that you do to it. So we're just going to go in Arena. We're going to change up the team a little bit just to kind of show you. We'll come back to that one. So what we'll do is we'll take Ignatius out and we'll put her in. Where's she at? There she is. I will encourage you too, when you do these builds in the future and you're looking at this stuff, just consider the strength of a 6-star item. As we see them more and more, you're going to see a lot more crazier builds kind of come about, and a lot more sets are going to become much more viable now, because you'll be able to crit cap relatively quick, which makes it very good for you in the long run. Of course, we get frozen, so what we're going to do is we're going to ignore the defense, do a decent amount of damage, not a big deal. Cooldown reduction right there, or turn meter reduction, excuse me. And then we're just going to kind of chunk on her. And so, of course, it reduces their turn meter, as you saw, with her buffs, which makes it really good to run with a lot of different teams. And, of course, when they attack, I'll be in a better spot. So they'll get their rotation off. So healing reduction there. We're just going to focus on him so we don't get another rotation. And then make sure he dies. And then, of course, in 2 turns, Valkyrie's ability will be up again. So we just want to focus on taking out what we can. And because of her damage she does, she's a very reliable DPS too when it comes to it. So this is just one of those builds where you can go tank with her, and the way that I build it allows you to do a little bit of both, while not losing anything that makes her kit extremely good or professional when it comes to it. So as you can see, she's barely taking any damage. Here come the bombs. We don't like bombs because bombs are scary, and if we don't kill by then, we're probably gonna die. So we're gonna heal. Definitely gonna heal. So freeze, don't take a whole lot of damage. I did think about running like a immortal set with her as well to see if that would work. Obviously immortal sets have their own kind of design that come to it, and that's just strictly for survivability. Percent damage doesn't really work that well against you on it. So as you can see, decent amount of damage, decent amount of survivability that comes to it. Obviously War Mother's bombs did a fair chunk of damage, but ultimately it still put me in a pretty good spot. Even in compare with my 2 DPSers, she managed to do a decent amount of chunk that goes to it. So like I said, this build is good for a lot of things and has a lot of opportunity to become better with 6 stars. As it's 6 stars, I'm going to try different things with her as well. I think this is a good starting place though, because none of these item sets are hard to come by. Cruel exceptionally is easy if you do clan boss every day. Speed and of course life are all easy tips to come by too. So long as you focus on making sure that she's got a little bit of extra speed that comes with it, and then make sure that your HP is relatively good, you should never have a problem having Valkyrie on your team to do pretty much anything. So that'll be it for today, guys. I appreciate everyone stopping by. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit like. If you liked it enough, go ahead and hit subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, want to see any future builds, go ahead and let me know. I will be doing there will be several videos coming soon, long as I can get them up with some 6-star items. My next video that I intend to do will probably be either Royal Guard or Prince Nymar. So we'll see how that goes. But again, until then, guys, appreciate you stopping by, and you have a great one.
Run! It's gonna be a left click. It's gonna be a left click.
Woo!